Communicating with students beyond the classroom using Remind 101 and a class webpage. Technological advances, globalization, and competition in the job market are continually on the rise. This makes it vital to provide our students with every advantage we can so that they can excel in a competitive, global, and technologically advanced job market. Growing class sizes present additional challenges to giving every student these advantages. However, using technology to communicate beyond the classroom can help combat the problem by promoting the continuation of learning after school hours. In an ideal world, students would continue learning outside of school hours on their own. Sadly, ours is not an ideal world, and communicating with them beyond your classroom helps to encourage this continuation of learning. The extracurricular communication is also a good way to model the behavior we expect of them. It shows them that the teachers, too, don't stop working when the bell rings, just as they shouldn't. One of the ways that I myself have been using technology to reach beyond the classroom is using a website called Remind 101. The website given here, www.remind101.com, is a web service that allows teachers to text their students and parents safely and for free. Students and parents sign up by texting a given code to a given number. The teacher doesn't see the student or parent's cell phone number, but can send messages through the website to their phones as a text. Here I've gone to the Remind 101 website, and I'm going to walk you through how to sign up an account and how to send a text message. First, you hit the sign in and go to sign up. You get to pick your title. We'll call it a coach. We'll say I'm a coach. And we'll go with Dr. Seuss. Now, you do have to give it a real email address. So I'm going to give it my Wayne State email address. And you have to make a password. And then you just hit the Get Started button. And to get started, you have to add your first class. So I'm going to make up a test section for testing it and hit Add. Now it gives you this nice, convenient image here that you can use to show to your students. You can put it on your syllabus. You can make handouts using this, because they'll also give you an additional option to access this image again once you close this little window. And this gives you, it says send a text message to, gives the phone number that you need to send it to, and then with this message. And they just put that in the message screen. So for our text section, I'm going to just say, remember the big game, since I'm Coach Dr. Seuss, the big game on Friday. And then you would hit the send button or schedule for later. Let me show you the schedule for later option. It pulls down this little handy calendar, and you can set it for any day and any time. So we'll say I'm going to set it for Tuesday, and you can do during school hours, but we'll go with after school hours. And done. And then it tells you, so you can confirm it right here, that you had the right time of day, and you hit schedule. And then the text message will be sent on that day and at that time. You can also do an immediate one. I'm just going to say hello on this one. And then when you hit send, it'll go immediately. Now, right now, we don't have anybody signed up for this test section. But if I were to go on my cell phone right now and send that message, here's where you can pull up a PDF document, by the way. That gives you everything, and you can put your subject down here. They leave that blank. So you can fill in, biology class, Miss Manning's biology class, or whatever it is, or Dr. Seuss's football team, I suppose. So now if we go back over, now that I have signed up, it shows we have one subscriber over here, Miss Manning, that's me. And you can remove them or edit them if you'd like. So if somebody accidentally joins a section that they weren't supposed to be in, you can edit that out. There is also this section down here that gives you a history of all of the messages that you've sent, in case and the ones that are scheduled. So if you need to go back and modify or cancel something that you have scheduled for the future, you can do that here with the cancel or the modify button right there. The final thing that I wanted to show you on this Remind 101 website is, although Dr. Seuss may only have one football team, most of us have multiple classes and often even different courses, different subjects. So if you needed to add another course, you would just go right here under My Classes and press this Add button. Then you would add the class name, so say Biology First Hour. And you can even make and create your own custom code. So you could put Bio 1. Oh, see this, that one's already taken. It does tell you that. Okay, we're going to just add one Bio Nerd on there, just to make it something unique, because I don't want to spend too much time on that. And press Add. Now, when I did this in my student teaching this semester, I was teaching world history and biology, and I only put biology and world history as my two different class sections that I could send messages to. I did find, though, that during the semester, I later wished I had made ones for separate hours, because there were days when we had half days, so I only saw my first hour biology and not my sixth hour, or when they were on slightly different paces, one class had gotten ahead, and so you might want to consider doing one for each, separate for each hour, even if they're the same subject. And that's basically it for Remind 101. It's very simple and easy to use, and it can be a very useful tool for sending reminders, such as test reminders, or if it's a day that they need to bring certain materials and things like that. And kids think it's kind of cool, even though they can't answer back. They cannot reply to your messages. If they want to ask you something about it, they would have to send you an email or contact you in person in the school. The other technological resource that I'm going to discuss to use to reach beyond the classroom to communicate with students is a class webpage. My personal class webpage is up here that I use currently for my student teaching with my students. It's missmanningclass.weebly.com. There are many different sites that offer the availability to create your own unique class website, including Weebly.com. I find Weebly to be very user-friendly, but some other people I've heard disagree, so you may want to do research and find out which one would be best for you. A class webpage is an excellent way to communicate with your students outside of the classroom because it engages them by using technology, which is something that most of them are very comfortable with, and it interests them. It also provides a place to offer additional resources that you just can't provide in the physical classroom due to time constraints. Other opportunities that they offer, I personally place digital downloadable copies of all of the paper documents that I provide in class. This gives students an additional place to get copies if they lose one, or if they just want to rewrite it to make it neater for those students who like to do things like that, or to retrieve their makeup work. They could, if they're homesick for a day or going to be off for a week, they could retrieve the copies from there instead of going the traditional route. You can also post videos, links, and even your PowerPoints on the website to give additional help to students. Video clips and PowerPoints shown in class can be posted so that students who are absent can still make up their work. I found that very useful because a lot of times, if you don't have it there, there's no way for them to make it up, and then they just end up getting out of doing the work. I've also found that using funny subject-related videos helps bring student interest into the subject. I use things like parodies, music video parodies. There was one on the French Revolution, which I can show you in a minute when we go to my class webpage, that was done off a Lady Gaga song. It was, some of the students found it kind of annoying. Some of them really liked it. It just depends. But it was still brought in that fun element to the class and to a very serious subject. And now, through the magic of technology, we are suddenly at my class webpage, Miss Manning Class Cyber Corner, as it says at the top. This is the welcome page. It gives students, here is the Remind 101 information for each of the sections, and the number that they need to text that to, and then just some other contact information and some basic stuff that all of my courses get at the beginning of the semester. There's a tab for each section, each different subject. There's biology and world history. Under the World History tab here is the World History tab, and we have a link to the online textbook. And then we have it broken up, as you can see as I scroll down quickly, by chapter. And the newest one is always at the top, and they go in descending order. So for the current chapter that we're working on, which is Chapter 19, the Industrial Revolution, I have a couple of videos here. This is just a serious informational video at the bottom. In the middle, it's a cute little music video, and then this is actually a series called Crash Course that very quickly goes through the entire subject. I also list what they need to have to turn in for their packets, any extra credit opportunities, and then here, this one isn't updated yet, but if we look down at the last one, there you can see the links to download the different handouts that we had for that chapter, and also a link to our Jeopardy review game. And you can see for the French Revolution we had a lot more videos, and here is the Lady Gaga video that I was telling you about. I'm not really going to play much, but just so you get the basic idea of it there. And I found a lot of different music videos for all different subjects. And the students seem to really like that, and they'll go to the website just to see if I found anything for that particular chapter. And sometimes they even come to me with things that I can post on the website. Now, also on here, one other little thing is there's a link to their Jeopardy review game, which is through superteachertools.com, which is a website with a lot of good tools on it for teachers. I go in and make a Jeopardy review game for each chapter, and this allows them to go to it and play it at home. So even if we don't have time to play it in class, or if we don't get through the whole game, they can still get use of the full review by playing on their own. And just to show you what it looks like. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire how to create and add stuff to your own website because each website generator is different. And you might find that this one doesn't work well for you, but just to show you for Weebly what the editor looks like, it's like this. And you have your web page here and everything. You can select things and a box goes around it and you can delete it or move it around. So like if I wanted to move this over here, just click and drag. Up here are your options for the different things you can add. This is the multimedia section, so you have photo gallery, file here, an audio player, video, and YouTube. I haven't used the video one yet because you have to have a paid membership to upload your own videos, but you can add as many YouTube videos on there as you'd like. So I just upload videos to YouTube and then post the link that way. Then there's also the basic section where you can do paragraphs, paragraph with picture, title, multiple columns, which is how you get things side by side here. I think it's pretty simple and straightforward to use, but you may find a different one that works better for your needs. To wrap things up here, the technological advances, globalization, and competition in the job market that are continually on the rise make it vital for us to provide our students with every advantage we can so that they can excel despite the growing class sizes, which present many challenges to us as educators. Communication outside of the classroom using technology can help to overcome these challenges and to provide our students with the advantages they need and deserve. Remind 101 and a class webpage are just two examples of many ways you can use technology to communicate with your students beyond the classroom.